Happy Hangover Monday, or what should be a national holiday for most Americans. Call it Hangover Monday after what was just a awesome Super Bowl that
Now,
was, I think,
stop. That Super Bowl sucked.
it
You and
was
I both
garbage.
know it. It was
It was
bad.
garbage,
All right, so
and it
so now
went
go
as
on.
everybody expected, right, Smoke?
Yeah, if you live in Philadelphia or you're an Oklahoma Sooner fan, or you want to call, are we claiming Jalen Hurts, Bama people?
Apparently, that's a fight. Apparently, there's somewhat of an internet struggle on who claims Jalen Hurts. It's almost like
22nd.
Michael Jackson being claimed by white and black folks.
Whoa,
Who-
we're gonna go let that one go. 22nd
I,
time.
I'm going back to the Dave Chappelle draft. My bad.
We're gonna let that one go right in and right out. We're gonna get the 22nd time. What? So, is it where you played your last season, or where you played the most? We'll let the fans get to that one. Keep going. I ain't gonna slow you down. This is the question to the
Man,
fans.
fans answer this. How do you claim? Because I'll be honest, I think both can. I think Jalen claims both. I think you ask the player if he says if it ended badly with one and it's a bad breakup, you're like, the hell with them. I'm not wearing them on my Hall of Fame cap. I get it. But I don't think it was a bad breakup. I think it was a business decision that was best for all parties involved. So it wasn't. I think it's a deal where both schools can claim Jalen Hurts proudly, Oklahoma and Alabama, because he did great things at Alabama and he did great things at Oklahoma, and he's a great kid. So everybody,
You're just like everybody else that was secretly picking Kansas City to three-peat, and Philly came out on top today. So now you feel like, oh yeah, in my heart,
look, I'll readily admit,
I had Philly all the time. But you know what? I interrupted your intro.
no, I picked Kansas
I'm gonna let you
City,
finish.
and like everybody else, I picked Kansas City and pulled for Philadelphia. So that's where I was.
God, get off the fence, man. You're gonna get ruined. You're gonna get cut in half.
Look, I've
At least
always
die
said in football, man, in NFL, I cheer for players. And guess what team had more Bama, more SEC, more Ole Miss players? That was Philadelphia. So
I got something about that too. But go ahead, finish your rundown. I ain't gonna cut you off.
Man, we're here on Super Bowl hangover. We're obviously not hungover from the Super Bowl. We're ready to go. It's Monday night, the opening kick. I got my man with his hot takes ready to go as always. Gerald Smoke Dixon, how you doing, sir?
I am doing outstanding. I couldn't be doing any better.
I'm Daniel Pettey. For all those in the comment section, for all those in Twitter, come on over to to YouTube, go to the Bama Standard, hit that like and subscribe so you can get all the wonderful shows this week. We've got a pretty big one coming up tomorrow, so stay tuned for that as well. But look, man, we're just getting going here. First, we got to give a little bit of love to the people that keep the lights on here at the Bama Standard, and that is one Lamstone Company. Check them out at realrockstone.com. Look, we'll hit it up quick. If you're building that dream home, you've obviously driven by and looked at other homes. You've seen those homes with that beautiful stone and wanted it for your own. Hey, nowhere else to look than Lamstone Company. They got all the stone to meet your project needs. They're located in Aniana, Alabama. They're one of the oldest, most trusted stone sources in the state. Give them a call today. Tell them we sent you. Use the promo code the Bama Standard and get 10% off your purchase of stone today. So go give Real Rock Stone some love today. With that said, man, how you used to work for Nick? How you used to work for Nick? Oh, good gracious. All right, guys, we got a jam-packed. If you didn't know, the Super Bowl happened yesterday. We're going to talk about the Super Bowl. We're going to talk about Jalen Hurts. We're going to talk about Kansas City. Was this maybe the last hurrah of an aging team? Smoke thinks no.
Keep going, man.
There you go. And my man Smoke, former all-SEC cornerback for the University of Alabama, is going to give you his 10 best cornerbacks in Alabama history. Well, the history that our eyes have seen. We're not going back to the leather helmet days, guys. Sorry.
Petty, if I ain't seen him play,
you can't
please
be on the
don't
list.
judge me for things that I don't know.
So the Bama fans in here, stay with us and start getting in that chat. Tell us who you think is going to be in that top 10 all-time cornerback list. But before we get to that, we're going to go into the Super Bowl, man, and how Smoke completely explained last week how the Eagles were going to use their defensive line to shut down Patrick Mahomes and the Philly. Look, one thing we did mention, the only thing we got right, I said Kansas City hasn't given up a 100-yard rusher all year, and they still didn't. That 25 rushes, 65 yards for Barkley. They basically said, you're going to beat us, Jalen Hurts. The ball's in your hand.
He ain't do that, though. You know Jalen didn't beat him, but keep going.
Well, no. So tell it, break it to how did this game go other than
how did the game go? Well, Howie Roseman has done an outstanding job of collecting talent, especially up front on the defensive line. And basically, he just went to Kirby's backyard or aisle in that grocery store over there in Athens, Georgia, and just collected defensive linemen, Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, just talking about those two. N'Kobe Dean, the linebacker that led the team, who was hurt, didn't finish out the playoffs, but wow, what a job of just constructing a well-built team to defeat Kansas City. Buffalo's tried to do it in the AFC, but Howie Roseman in the NFC is quietly and secretly done an outstanding job of putting together a roster that when your offensive line is below average and your guard is playing tackle, and really, Joe is really a good center. At worst, you know how I feel about centers. They're trash cans with wheels for legs, or agile bags with legs. That's playing tackle, and you saw Josh Sweat just forklifting him and putting him in the quarterback's lap. Don't care how great you are as a quarterback. The great Patrick Mahomes did not have an opportunity at all last night because he was running for his life. Shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles defense, Vic Fangio, for putting on that display of greatness. Jalen Hurts, like always, did just enough and well enough. No knock on him because his leadership, his ability just to ride the wave and never, ever blink. It's something that I didn't give him credit for when I was evaluating him, just his leadership. And it's just how he is. It says, and we're probably close to being the same in our attitude and our motivation and the way we just look at life. Just even kill. It's never great. It's never good. It's just good enough. When you have that type of attitude, regardless if you have a receiver that wants to read a book about being calm on the sideline, you get over that. If they brought in a running back that all you want to do is run the ball 56% of the time, the most in the NFL, that's what Philadelphia did. And even with your coordinator, Kellen Moore, known for passing the ball, saying, hey, listen, Jalen's not a pocket passer. He's good on if you move the pocket, RPOs, play action, allow him to use his legs. We'll get to the promised land, and they found the success. Shout out to Philly. I was wrong. America, it's okay to say that you're wrong. But we'll be right next time.
That's the question I have, Smoke, is the way that Philadelphia was able to expose how weak parts of that offensive line were and just how much of a show it was of Mahomes pretty much doing it on his own. Well, he was able to do that to a tune of, a 15-1 record this year. How were no other teams able to exploit that this year? Is Philly not the home ranger of having a good defensive line?
It's hard to do that when you don't have the edge rushers up front and just pass rushers up front and four defensive linemen that can control the line of scrimmage. Mm-hmm. There's an interesting stat. Vic Fangio did not blitz not one time yesterday. All that pressure and all that chaos and Patrick running around in circles and having happy feet and throwing a pick six and throwing another interception, that was done with just four guys rushing. And they just rotated those guys. And when you can do that and evaluate the talent, draft it, develop it, cultivate it, and get it going in the right direction and keep Mr. Jalen Carter calm and a monster, and when your offensive line is just not good enough like Kansas City's, it happens. If Buffalo's defensive line was better, you saw instances of it, but they just don't have the dogs up front to run in this race.
Well, we're going to get to teams like Buffalo, and I'm going to tie that into the Kansas City thing after this. But, man, Smoke, I think you hit on something that is really the key to all the championship teams you've seen of late or championship defenses. You want to know what the blueprint – there is a blueprint for a championship defense. You have enough dogs on that defensive line that you don't have to blitz, where blitzes aren't even in your playbook because they're causing so much havoc. You're able to play a zone and just work with – you're basically blitzing with four because it feels like six guys are coming at all times, and that's what it looked like last night. And it wasn't six, it was four, but they were just I mean, like you said, causing hell, but that's your blueprint. 4 defensive linemen that can keep your defensive coordinator, or he can keep it exotic in the back 7.
Well, and then what Philly also matched it with was just great coverage. I mean, Cooper DeJean in the slot.
Get credit on that.
Big play Darius Slay, Quinyon Mitchell. They drafted those 2 guys. As rookies. Those are 2 rookies plus a veteran that's out there that's playing well with big play Darius Slay.
Ken Happy said America's team. I don't know if we can call the Eagles America's team, but it's funny that the Chiefs became so hated that America was pulling for the Eagles. If you call them America's team, you've never been to an Eagles game not wearing Eagles clothing.
Listen, there's a whole bunch of people running around now. I call those closet fans. Once your team wins, they open the door and come out of the closet. Yeah, I told you so. I knew they were going to win. Knock it out.
I think it's more a knock on everybody was so tired of Kansas City and was so happy. I mean, they hate them so bad they're booing poor Tay-Tay up on the jumbotron, man.
Listen, we're here to talk about football, man. Let the
part of it.
Let the entertainers and Travis Kelce's girlfriend do what she need to do. And we'll get to that. But, bro, my man Jalen Hurts got him a Super Bowl ring, man.
Hey, man.
Got him a natty and got him a Super Bowl ring. And then he had to come off the bench to get the Super Bowl like he did the natty.
Look, and I said this on something earlier, a little short we did. I think the story, when they write the book on Jalen Hurts, I think it's going to be the title should be Defeating Doubt, because that's all it's been. Man, I've been nothing but doubt on that kid. Nobody believed that he would be You believe he was going to be a Super Bowl MVP?
Did I believe he was going to be a Super Bowl MVP?
Did you think that was in the
and I said from the beginning, the one thing that I did not give him credit for when evaluating him, his ability to lead and his attitude towards anything. Shout out to his parents, shout out to his community. Yep. That's a young man that I don't care what obstacles you put against him. Good luck. He's a winner, right? The quarterback skill set, that you'd want better. But when you have just good enough with the intangibles, you can basically get what you want. And again, here's what I'm gonna say: he's outplayed Patrick Mahomes in 2 Super Bowls.
And let me lay out the groundwork for the doubt. Kid comes from Katy, Texas. He gets to Alabama. Blake Barnett's the blue chip from California, 5-star. Nobody's expecting Hurts to win out the job. You watch A-Day, and it's quite obvious that the offense works better under the Hurts kid. Mm-hmm. Hurts gets there. He's winning. He does nothing but win, but at times the offense gets a little stagnant. People start questioning. You got this new shiny object sitting there that happens to have the best arm and the best quarterback, and in my opinion, in Alabama history. And people saw that.
I second that. Keep going.
And so it's a weird situation where you got this kid that's a winner. What do you do with this? It was one of the hardest situations. I imagine Nick Saban can still tell you that he had to make to this day what you do in that situation. And he made it look.
It wasn't him. I keep telling you.
I know you said it was Loxley, but the decision was made. Nick had to make the final call, however. But they went with Tua. Right. I mean, the doubt sets in. Tua gets hurt the next year. The kid come back and wins, but still realizes this. I've sat here for a year, bided my time, but it's not my job. I'm going to Oklahoma. He goes to Oklahoma, puts up better numbers than he did at Alabama under a really good system under Riley. But there was still doubt. Eagle fans didn't really want Hurts. They didn't want Hurts. That wasn't the guy they wanted. And even this year, every year you hear the whispers in his career. Oh, they figured him out. They figured him out. They know he can't throw. He can't. If you make him have to beat you with his arm, he ain't gonna do it. He can't win those games. So So when I say doubt, that's why I say that the book on Hurts has been a series of doubts that he constantly squelches. And you nailed it. He's a winner, man. His parents, this guy, you just got to, at some point, you got to pull your hat off and say, that guy's a winner. He's a winner at life. He's a leader. Dude gets it done. And that's where I was saying that,
I got a title for you.
Okay.
Surrounded with Talent. The Life of Jalen Hurts. Oh, you don't like that one.
I love, man. I'm laughing. I'm not booing you or getting mad.
You want me to give you chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Huh?
I laugh at truth sometimes, Smoke. I get there is, two things can be true at the same time. You can be doubted and you can be blessed.
I don't know when anyone's well, there are probably people that have doubted them, but is that not the truth? Hey, if you're coming out of high school, and whatever ranking system says this guy is a whatever star compared to you, that's just putting you in a box. Right? It's for you to get out the box. But I don't ever remember reading, Jalen Hurts can't play. He's never going to play. I thought it was an open competition, and he won. So he comes in. He didn't lose a game. This guy went undefeated at Bama. The only time that he took a loss, he had the ball in his hands at the end of the game versus Clemson. He walks off the field. He's winning. Now, between Tony Brown and Marlowe, he ends up losing the game. That's his one blemish. So then you bring in a player that's better than him. Now, different leadership qualities and different makeup mentally, neither bad or good, but just two different guys when you talk about their ability to get through adversity without blinking. One guy might blink and come back at you. Another guy's not going to blink or move. That's Jalen. So you can say doubt. I'm going to just say it's been written. What a great talent that I've been surrounded by my entire playing career. Past high school. Bama had 5 receivers that first rounders. If you want to throw Calvin in there, at 6. That offensive line had 2 guys, Leatherwood, Jonas, and is that the only 2 that first rounders? I'm gonna say the backfield was loaded. So at the end of the day, come on, knock it off. It's not like he's working with Josh Allen talent in Philly either. He has the best offensive line, the best running back this year. I would argue and say the best skill group in terms of receivers and tight end. And the weakest link on that offense is the quarterback. So long as that's a fact, not fiction. No,
this is why I love you, Smoke, because this is the truth.
And I'm not saying that as a knock. I'm saying it's just purely looking at it. But again, the guy's MVP. But so is Nick Foles.
No, well, and this comes to we played this game, me and you, this week about receivers, and we'll go into that later. But switch him and Allen. Does he take Buffalo to the places Allen has taken them?
Knock it off. The guy's not even close.
I get it.
Jalen is a win with quarterback. When I say there's 2 group categories I put quarterbacks in. Win because of, and I'll get to that. Win with. There are a lot of win with. Like you're winning with him, with Saquon, with the Slim Reaper, with Dallas Goedert, AJ Brown, Jahan Dotson, the offensive line of Jordan, Lane, Landon. I'm not going to talk about the trash can on wheels because number 51, he's the only one that don't look like any of those guys. You see 6'6", 6'7", Mekhi Becton, and then the other guy down here. And then
met his grandfather on Super Bowl Sunday.
And then you see, somebody's grandpa, right? Or somebody's uncle that looked like he worked as a construction worker. That's what Jernigan's like. But again, when you have really good players around you, all you have to do is just don't trip over them and don't let them fall down. And I think Jalen did an outstanding job yesterday of just not screwing up enough. And everyone's going to say, well, Saquon only had what do you end up with, like 70 yards, 60-something?
65 yards on 25 carries. I think
on 25 carries. But
Jalen had him on their heels running.
He threw two good deep. There
one great deep ball to Smith that out to Hurts.
Yeah, he did a good job of throwing the football where it needed to go last night. But there's no means am I going to walk away and say he's going to beat you with his arm. But the guy's a Super Bowl winner. There's no knock on him. And again, I'm not taking no shot on him. He's one of my brothers. He donned that crimson, Super Bowl MVP. Shout out to him. I think he is. If you want to say he's the top 5 quarterback, go ahead. Just don't put him in the category with Allen, Jackson.
I saw that argument today,
Joe,
and when you get past 4,
Patrick.
it gets dicey. I mean, you're talking about golf. You're talking about Stafford still because
he's in that cat. He's like those win with quarterbacks. Just put him in a box, throw him up, pull him out. Jared Goff has been to 1 Super Bowl, right? And almost went to a 2nd. So when there's opportunities that you just can't just throw the ball away and just play like trash. And Jalen's not a trash quarterback. He's a top 10. If you want to say 5 on a good year, sure, put him in there. He'll be fighting with that other guy that's not in that elite group. And everyone's gonna run around and say, well, he's a winner. Winning is a team thing. And if you didn't look at it last night, his team won that game. It's not like he put him said, get on my back. This is what we're doing. No. So it's not a shot at him. And if anybody wants to get in the comments and say, well, he beat Patrick Mahomes, sure, fine. That's not what we're talking about. The easiest thing to do is to get a win-loss record and put it up and say, quarterback, he's a GOAT because he won so many games.
Well, speaking of putting on the back, and you scoffed at my comment right out of gate on this, Smoke, everybody was waiting on that moment. You know, I think a lot of people were thinking Atlanta, Tom Brady, Brady had the big comeback on Atlanta. Everybody kept sitting there saying, well, okay, this is when Mahomes is going to bring them back. This is when Mahomes is going to bring them back. And it wasn't there last night. He couldn't do it. The Eagles were too much. They answered when he did.
Secondary is really good. Yeah, they had no answers for that defense.
I think the Chiefs, you think I'm crazy. I think the Chiefs have to do some soul searching. Travis Kelce's old. They don't have weapons on that offense. That offensive line's weak. Jones is a one-man show on defense.
Mm-hmm.
I think and much like Buffalo, the only difference is they've got rings. Buffalo doesn't. Buffalo better do something quick if they want to not waste Allen and not have anything to show for his time there. At least Kansas City does. But they look a lot like the same team. 2 dudes that are carrying. And last night,
Buffalo only has 1. Kansas City has 2.
Yeah, Kansas City has 2. They got 1 on defense too. But it wasn't enough last night. Is this the end of the run?
No. Andy Reid, Brett Veach, they're going to figure it out how to get better players around Patrick. We've seen Kansas City lose the cheetah. They figured a way around it. Travis, it's time to walk away. He looked bad last night.
He's looking old.
Bad. Body looks bad. The way he's running routes. And Travis is maybe one of my most favorite receivers of all time is Travis.
Wow. Okay.
Flat out. His route running ability, run after catch ability, unlike no other. There's no one that's ever done it like him, run after the catch, getting open and just working the middle of the field, man or zone. What him and Patrick, what they've done, listen, when you get put in the conversation statistically with Jerry Rice, and I said it again, statistically with Jerry Rice, you're in rare air.
People don't understand the depth of that comment.
Simple. I just said statistically. But I think we've exhausted Kansas City and Philly train. I think our Bama people want us to get to the next one. They want
to say, well, I was just jumping into the dynasty, man. I'm okay. Smoke says it's not over.
You can't go when it went 3 in a row and 1 game away from winning the Super Bowl to finish when you have the best quarterback in the NFL. You just got to get a couple of pieces around him and figure out their left tackle situation. They've done it before. 74 got to go. Taylor got to go. Juwan Taylor, he has to go. That lining up in the backfield and still not being able to block anybody, that's a done deal. They're going to get some players back from injury. Rashid Rice, once they get him back, he's a difference maker on the outside as well too. And Big Red, Andy Reid, they're going to be just fine. I promise you. There's nothing to say it's over. It's a game. Everybody feels bad after a loss. But the real champions and winners figure out how, when, why, and what, and how to get to the next one. I got faith in Kansas City. Come on, KC.
Tough as Nails says Gronk was better than Kelsey. Smoke.
I think Tough as Nails. I don't think Tough as Nails. You got to do a better job of listening. I've never once compared the two. I said route running, run after the catch. Come on, Tough as Nails. You're better, man. You better than that. Your ears. You know what? Your ears are tough as nails because there ain't nothing going in.
I always try to throw a name to debate. Of course, the one that came to my mind played also for Kansas City, be Tony Gonzalez.
Again, I think Tony, when you start talking about all around being able to do some things on the edge is blocking, red zone, but route running, run after the catch, you're gonna have to find somebody. So you're gonna have to find somebody that I would take over Travis. I'm taking Travis. Like you said, if you want Gronk tough as nails, go ahead. But Gronk is just a beast. Just throw it up. You've never seen anything like it. Go up and go get it. Plus, he can block. But I wouldn't say his run after catch stuff is just running people over. Travis would put foot in the ground, make you miss, all that other stuff. He's more elusive than Gronk, but they're just different guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gronk was just a big bulldozer with hands.
Yeah, Gronk, we've never seen anything like Gronk. Gronk is a generational type talent at the tight end position.
No, yeah. Throw ball up, run over. He was Gronk was just a different dude. They don't make humans much like that machine.
Yeah, tough as nail. Gronk had great hands too.
There's been a bunch of them, man. There's been a few over the years. Shannon Sharp somewhere in that conversation of run after catch.
Again, I'm not on the debate of who's the best receiver. I just gave you two categories, which I think separates Travis and what shows his best skill set as a football player: route running and his ability to run with the ball after he catches it.
And that may be a prelude to we get in the offseason, man. We got to, we stuff to talk about. We're going to talk ball, and Smoke has brought up some stuff this week to me. We're talking Mount Rushmores of all kind of stuff because that's what we like to debate, football crap. And we started talking wide receivers, and Smoke's got some interesting reasons why who is where on his Mount Rushmore of wide receivers. But before we get to that end of the season, we're going to get some other of Smoke's list tonight. Look at you making that list. I said,
one second. I got my 5, and I'm not going to give my 5 tonight because we got to come back.
No, I'm
going to give you someone that just got in, and I was waiting for this one thing. And when his brother knocked on that door and went down in the basement, it started tearing up. Okay? I said, y'all hero, he's now out of it. Because Sterling is in. And go check Sterling's first 7 years. With any receiver during his time and era, put his first 7 years up against anybody, and we'll have that debate. But also now, Petty, cut the film on and see what he was doing to the best of the best. There's a reason why he's in the Hall of Fame.
And look, a lot of those early years weren't with Brett Favre. They were with the Magic Man. He wasn't playing with the best of the best in the NFL. He didn't have the 49ers team around him. Sterling was the man. I honestly, the one thing I think was wrong with that, I think it should have been Sterling inviting his brother into the Hall of Fame. I think Sterling probably should have gone before Shannon because
Shannon had a better career. Knock it off. I think Sterling is a better player, but Shannon had a better career. I'm not going to hold Shannon against that.
Because the hybrid tight end, he kind of changed the position. Is that where you're going with that?
No, just his overall body of work. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
because it wasn't just Denver. Then he was still very productive when he got to Baltimore.
Right. Sterling had 7 years, and his last couple, he was banged up with the neck. Yeah. But here's one thing that I'm not ever going to, whenever I get into debate or conversation about players and skill set, I'm not going to say, well, he played with this guy. No, I'm talking about solely cutting the film on and watching you play the game. Because if I can't take away who you played with, the system that you played in, like all that. Now we're splitting hairs and the goalposts is getting moved and all that. When Smoke gets to it, we cut the tape on. You want to throw stats in there, throw it in there too. But pure skill set, ability, and if you want to throw production in there, go ahead too.
That's hard to argue, man. He was absolutely in the 90s. Michael Irvin.
No, not even close. Knock it off.
Andre Bad Moon Rising. I was joking. Just wanted to get a reaction. How you
Sterling's in a 5. He's in there, and we got argument now.
He's the only, and I just letting y'all know, Sterling's the only one from our early era, 80s, 90s, that's in the 5, by the way, people. Well, one of them touched in the late 90s, I guess.
Hey, man. Listen, we can simply break it down. If you're drafting, who do you want? But hey,
Toughest Nails, man. Toughest Nails says that's the debate. Toughest Nails, was Randy Moss the best receiver ever? Smoke.
We got a question that starred. Let's get to that one.
So considering everybody's game, how would you grade that? So considering the very small amount Jalen contributed to the game, how would you grade that?
The guy got it. I mean, he threw an interception, so you give him a B+. You give him everything that's above average in order to get your team to win the game. I'm never going to take credit away from a Super Bowl champion and what it takes for a quarterback in the NFL to go through an entire season and end up holding that Lombardi trophy that should change in a couple of years to the Belichick trophy, and take it away from him.
And put a picture of him and his date on the cover of it, on the front of it, with all his rings.
You're always one to go down that line. No, I'm just saying, if a guy's won 6 Super Bowls, why are you naming after a guy that won 2?
Because they had to name the trophy way before the guy that won 6.
What is there anything wrong? Have you ever heard of the word change? It's necessary.
I don't know. I mean, I guess this is one of the, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I guess if you want to name it the Belichick, give that to the best coach.
I just think that the coach that's won the most
should have his name on the trophy. It's not bad if you own the trophy the most, the trophy's now named yours. I actually kind of like that, Smoke. Let me think. Yeah, I mean, he's kind of a king of the hill, man. You want it more than anybody else. It's yours, right?
Just
think like about the Elder Wand and Harry Potter, man. You've earned it. Hey, if you're with us, hit that like and subscribe. If you're on Twitter X, come on over to YouTube, to the Bama Standard. Hit that subscribe button, because we've got shows coming all week. We've got like I said, I'm teasing it. I'm going to let Smoke name some guys, but we got a special one, including who I consider one of the greatest players at his position in Alabama history, is going to be on the show tomorrow night.
You're talking about my big brother, Big Crow, a.k.a. Big Cat, a.k.a. should be in the Hall of Fame. That's Chris Samuels.
Chris Samuel's going to be on the show with the entire Pancake Posse tomorrow night. Look, we can debate all you want, Smoke, on some shit. I won't. You're not debating me. Chris Samuels is the best offensive tackle play in Alabama history.
That we've seen, but there's a guy named John Anna that a lot of old timers will argue.
With the old timers, was Hannah better or was Samuels? Because man, Samuels was God. He was.
I got some dudes that played during John's time, and
said he was a dude.
And Chris said, yeah, he was a problem.
He was a problem.
That Elton trophy might need to go to John Hannah as well too.
Whoa, Smoke! You just said earlier you didn't see with your own eyes, but you're doing that.
I just said what the old guys.
Dude, you trust?
Who do I trust? Come on, man.
No, I said dude, you probably trust.
I trust them, but I trust these. Like I don't like glasses and all that. I'm like a hawk, eagle. Whatever has the best pair of these, yeah, I'm tough with it.
Well,
laser.
Trust this. Trust before you go to the next Bama game, which, by the way, we got a pretty big one coming up this weekend with Alabama Auburn, the Iron Bowl of basketball. Number 1, number 2. Get that title towel today. Go to whitwillsports.com. See it right there, www.whitwillsports.com. Tell them the promo code standard, get you a little discount. And you can clean off.
I even wipe the ball with it. I
can wipe the ball with it. Wipe those tears off Auburn's face when they leave with the L.
Come Saturday. That's going to be a tough game. Whoa. You can even wipe a ball head with it. You can throw it over your shoulder on a wet day. Right? So many things. I mean, it's multifaceted.
It is multifaceted, but one thing it is a product of good Alabama people who support us, support them today. Go visit them, whitwillsports.com. We love you. Get your title towel and don't go to Coleman Coliseum empty-handed. Let those people from Lee County know who is number one.
And it's really like it's real soft material.
It is a thick towel. It is thick and soft.
Hey,
if it was a little wider, you could wear it walking out of the shower. But
knock it off. You see, your mind drifts sometimes, and I'm here to pull you back. Come on back, right here. Line up. Let's go.
It's what happens when you spend a decade in college.
When John pulled, watch out. I hear you, B. Russell. Again, I'm not here to knock anybody, but I am going to tell you that, in my humble opinion, the best one I played with is Big Pro. And I'm going to always speak of the guys that I played with. That's my guy. I'm going to go to war with him. Yeah.
Look, and he was just locked down. Like you said, he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Easy.
I mean, it's not. I mean, he was locked down, but everybody because you play for the stupid Redskins, and they weren't in an era.
And he didn't finish out his. He had a couple more years left with them, but he had the neck injury, and kind of his last couple of years slowed him down. But the last couple of years, we spent a lot of time together, man. Got him hired as a volunteer over there with the University of Maryland with Mike Loxley at Terpsville. He was over there coaching up the offensive line, coached up Big Jalen Duncan, DJ Glaze, Spencer Anderson. Listen, Big Pro can coach, offensive genius, putting up points out with all the boys out there in Montgomery County at Northwest High School. He'll sit down and X and O with you too, man. Good dude. And I love him.
Can't wait. So y'all are getting a primer, man. Don't miss it. Tomorrow night, 6 Central, be here on the Bama Standard. Chris Samuels, the whole Pancake Posse is going to be here. Hogan and the whole clan. Hogan, did you call
you want me to get my brothers from left to right? So we had Big Pro and left tackle. Griff Redmill and left guard. No one knew when Dubois was saying he's a grip, but Griff Redmill usually turn around. I usually see Griff all the time in the cheerleading competition because his daughter's a cheerleader. My daughter.
Oh, okay.
Listen, shout out. Okay, pause. 20-second timeout. Let me give a shameless plug to maybe the best athlete in the Dixon family. Maybe. Sakaya Maurice Dixon. Beast. And you know I'm tough. I'm not saying it because of my daughter. The same way that I evaluate players, same way I evaluate my kids' athleticism.
She got them flips, them tumbles.
She's a problem. They went down Station Camp Middle School here in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Went down to Orlando this weekend. First time placing. Came in 3rd in traditional, 4th in game day in the nation. Middle school cheerleading. She's a problem, man. My baby girl.
Juice. I love it. Hey, now I'm gonna stay on that note for you Tuscaloosa folks. For anybody watching that's got kids at Tuscaloosa County. Tuscaloosa County was just at Nationals in Orlando, vying for a national championship. The JV won the cheerleading national championship out of Tuscaloosa. Just went. It's title town, man. That's what they do. So hats off to the County High girls for that national title as well. So Smoke knows about that cheerleading life. I'm sure you've been doing.
Orlando. My pockets know about it too. So now it's center. You got Paul Hogan. Missing a little bit of the nub, but he's still snap it back.
Did you call Paul a trash can?
Paul's my brother. Listen,
Paul was one of the best. Talking about Chris, Paul was one of the better centers in Alabama history.
Listen, okay, no knock on Paul, but my guy Alonzo Ephraim has a lot to say about that too.
But I said one of the better.
We can continue this conversation another time. Okay. Get my man Paul. I don't want to ruffle my man Paul's feathers because he might he still think he can knock me out. Then at right guard, my man Will Cuthbert with the gold teeth. I don't think my man got the gold grill still in his mouth. One of the funniest human beings on this planet. And the second most talented player in my recruiting class. One is Michael Gaines. You guys, people in Tuscaloosa never heard of him because he never got on the field because he just couldn't get in. But he was there for a couple of days in the summertime. Ask anyone that played in the secondary that summer. Michael Gaines was there. That's AC's first cousin. Problem. Terry Jones Jr., my brother, Sean Draper, because if Michael Gaines stays at the University of Alabama, some of y'all ain't playing that many reps. That's just what it is. But Dante Ellington, right tackle. Big 65.
Big Dante.
Rochester's own. I know he's going to say Leeton. But he's from the Rock, Rochester, New York. I can't wait to see Dundeezy. Can't wait.
So, man, look, tomorrow night, All-Star Cast, be here for it. Terry Jones Jr., one of the best athletes on that, man. That dude was a straight athlete.
So let me get TJ is a Hall of Fame person. I don't think TJ could be wrong in my book with anything. Listen, his wife and I get into it all the time because he's never wrong. It's like, oh, Junior, I'm like, listen, no way, he can't be wrong. Impossible. And they know it too. Shout out to my godson, LJ, man. TJ's
did TJ could take it on a basketball court, couldn't he?
TJ's a beast. He's an athlete, man.
Oh, I know, man.
He can hoop.
He can hoop. All right, we've given enough of a preview for tomorrow night. Back to our show. I've tasked my man. If you didn't know, my man Smoke Dixon he could ball a little bit back in his day as well. I believe SEC Defensive Player of the Week a time or two. One time against my Red. Yeah, it might have been. They may have given him a little all SEC love at one point in his life. May have dipped his toes in the professional ranks playing cornerback. So I think he may know a little bit of something about playing on an island.
You know what? Before we get to this island, there's a couple of questions that started right here. Because
man, we're gonna get to them at the end. We got tons of questions. Trust me, we got some good ones. Are you going to get to them now?
He's been blowing me up.
Justin, do we want to hit these up since they're kind of the Marvin one may be my favorite. We gonna save them? We'll save them. Okay.
All right. Cool.
All right. My man Smoke, Bama folks, as you've been I've trumped up. My man Smoke might have played on the island at Alabama. He might have even been a scout, so he knows a thing or two about this position. So I've tasked him with telling me, and the capstone, the cornerstone of football, where legends are made. This is a hard task. This is no easy task. I told him to come up with the 10 best cornerbacks in Alabama history, and we're going to start at the bottom and work our way up. So if you're in that chat, start it out. I know y'all been live all night. So tell us who y'all think.
Petty, Petty, you got to help me out so I don't get crushed all day by these lovely fans that want to roll tide. Like the guys in the 60s and the 70s. I'm 44. I was born in 1980. I'm an immigrant. I got here to the United States in 1988 from Jamaica. So a lot of what you guys saw with all that, I can't get into it. There's one guy that's on the list that I saw play with my two, and he mentored me. So I understand and I studied him. So that's the only reason why he's on there. He's an older guy, but further ado, Petty, you ready to go?
Let's do this. Number 10. Who is
number
the
10? Okay. The best ball skills on this group. Came in as a big-time receiver prospect. Older brother. Played in the league. Steph Diggs. DMV guys. Not a homer. Go check the stats if you want to. Trayvon Diggs. Now, if you want to talk about sticky coverage, just okay. But I'll tell you what, don't put the ball anywhere close now. Because if you do, it's coming down in his hand as far as interception. Trayvon Diggs, number 10. What you got?
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna call you on this one just a little bit because I know once you had your list, getting that last one, there's been so many great ones at Alabama, it almost gets debatable. Was there anybody that you had to debate with Trayvon that might have almost cracked that list?
Listen, almost cracked the list. Because I'm only 5'10" and a quarter, so I'm considered not a big corner, a little guy. We know Lil Mac. Mark McMillan was on my list. But Mac, listen, bro. Sorry. Again.
He gets it.
Because we're little, bro, but in my heart.
Little guys, big hearts.
Big heart. This is what you did, Lil Mac. You didn't even know. Kurt Schottenheimer cussed me out every single day at practice because of the craziness that you put him through in Kansas City. So thank you. Once he's like, you remind me of that. Lil Mac, I said, no, I'm just smoke. But I guess I gave off the same aura of not putting up with bull crap, just like you did. And that's why he got at me on a daily basis. But hey, listen, one of my favorites is studying a little corner that played big, Lil Mac. Shout out to you, man. Sorry. Next time. You made the list of little corners. You're good though. Number 9. Number 9.
I love this.
Long arm specimen. Right here in the state of Tennessee. 2-5 line, Fernando Bryant. First round pick, Jacksonville Jaguars. Get it to me.
Fernando Bryant, wingspan of about 8'4".
Best car game. I'm talking about two. You want to have fun and a good time? 2-5 Live is your guy.
2-5 Live. I heard he was a trip in the locker room.
I was never in the locker room with 2-5. Okay. Here's my one story I got on 2-5. All right, so I forget what year it is. So we're in the preseason and we're playing in Detroit. This is when he finally his last few years of his career. Last few games of his career. He was in Detroit. And I see him before the game, and we're going through warm-ups and all that. We're checking in. Hey, Smoke, what's going on? I said, 2-5, bro, it's the last preseason game, man. What you doing? He's like, man, I don't feel like playing. I said, what? He said, bro, I'm going to go ahead and just take the knee for the day, man. So, anyhow, I think the receiver caught a hitch, and 2-5 went up there, and somebody came and hit 2-5. 2-5 laid there. I thought he was dead. Didn't even move. So I'm like, dang, man, my boy 2-5 hurts. I walked over and said, 2-5, man, you good? He gave me that look, and I was like, oh.
He told you he was done. He was playing dead.
He gave the thumb down. I'm done for the day, Smoke.
That's great.
Getting back to the list, number 8. Just finished up. Detroit Lion himself, first round pick for the Detroit Lions, Terrion Arnold. Man, I know Kool-Aid was a good corner, but when you're on the left side and Nick Saban's defense, you were that guy. Terrion Arnold, number 8 for me.
Terrion, that's great, man. That's, again, this is where this list gets tough and why I said Mark understands. When you start rattling off these names, man, geez Louise.
Number 7, old head, Jeremiah Castile.
79-82. There we go.
He and Steve Wilson, shout out to Coach Wilson, legendary coach at Howard, locking guys down when they're in the NFL in the Denver Broncos. Listen, Jeremiah used to still come out there when I was playing at Bama, and everybody know when Coach Castile come out there to give you a workout, and he get in the stands and he take them long arms and swipe. I'm talking about he getting low, swiping on the grass. Oh, you know what time it is, and he had your quads feeling like you didn't even want to walk anymore. But when you left, you knew how to cover it out, come back, hitch, a double move, and you were tough for the day, man. Shout out to Jeremiah Castile. Number 6.
Love it.
Mississippi's own. Great coach as well. Was coaching up Terrion Arnold last year in Detroit. Deshae Townsend, man. You talk about savvy ball player, always in position, smart, ahead of his time because he's one of the first guys that refined the nickel position and still can cover well.
Got to give love to Deshae. University of South Panola in Batesville, Mississippi. This dude grew up playing man's football from the time he was 5. If you don't remember, he also came with an all-world linebacker at that time named Dwayne Rudd. And, dude, them boys from South Panola didn't play. It was a time that started a pipeline for Alabama into that high school. And, man, love some Deshae Townsend. He came when I moved to Alabama about the time 94 Deshae came on. And so it was I love me some Deshae Townsend. Love that pick.
All right, now we're going to crack into the top 5. Hard, but
oh, boy, here's where it gets got to get tough.
Nah, I don't listen. Tough is what we do. Hard is what we do, man. This is easy. It's one of Nick Saban, one of the first ones to go out there and stamp Coach Saban in Gadsden City. One of the creatures that Nick pulled out. When I first saw him, I didn't know like how big and how long this young man really was. Because he got in trouble in that spring, and I had to say they brought a knucklehead to talk to another knucklehead to straighten him out. Jerry Kirkpatrick. Patrick, number 5. 21 in
Great.
your heart, but number 5 on smoke list. Tough, press, nasty, hit you. Listen, he did it in Cincinnati. He also did it in Alabama. Dre Kirkpatrick, number 5 for me. Now we're going to scratch it on up. Now we're going to get in the top 10 picks in the NFL draft. Wish his career was a little bit longer in the NFL, but you can't discredit the talent that this young man. Size, the ability to run, catch. I just wish he would have just toughened it out a little bit, but I think injuries got him. And playing in New York really put him to a side because it's tough to play up there. D. Milner is number 4 for me.
Man, and this is where, Smoke, I think the list can start getting argued. Like, people can start making arguments for any of these guys, except for one. I think one is a dead lock. But I think 2 through 5 is an argument.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you, go argue with yourself. Don't argue with me, because I ain't listening. It's my list. If y'all want another list, go do it to yourself. It's my list. All right.
This is Smoke's list, and don't nobody can. Yeah, I'm with you.
You can say, but mute.
I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing with a dude that actually played the position. I got you. I love it. Listen, I just figured it's hard.
One of the things that I don't have to like playing it. I just have an opinion about it. So irregardless of what I've accomplished, everyone has a set of eyes and everyone has an opinion. I respect it. Number 3, my man, Rookie of the Year, Jenga Lang himself, Antonio Langham. Big play Langham. Big homie. Number 3, getting it done. Pick 6 against Florida. Sealed that deal and started that run for Bama. Number 3 for me. Might be number 1 in some of y'all mind, but hey, like I said, I like guys that can get the ball back, pick it, and do the rest. Number 2, Marlon Humphrey. I remember I'm sitting in my office. I'm sitting in my office in Buffalo, and B Hump called me. Hey, Smoke, what's up? I said, hey, Hump, what's going on, dog? Everything good? He's like, yeah, man, I don't know. What do you think? You think Marlon should come out? I said, bro, listen here, man. Let me go get the assistant general manager, because if I'm going to tell you yes, you're going to tell me. He's like, man, I don't think, they saying he's going to go here, he's going to go there. I said, hey, listen, you have a first rounder on your hands. He's tough as nails. There's some stuff that he got to clean up in his coverage, but he has size, he can run, and he can cover, and he's going to hit you. So I got the assistant general manager at that time, Jim Monas, came in. I said, I'm going to put him on speakerphone and say, hey, listen, stop wasting time. Don't listen to Nick. Tell him to get in the draft. A few weeks later, first round, couple of years later, all pro. Marlo, number 2.
You said don't listen to Nick there. That's one thing I want to ask. I thought Nick was always kind of a big proponent that if you had that first round grade, that he would kind of push you towards it. Is that not?
Yeah, I mean, sure. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna tell you. He told Marcel Darius to come back, 3rd overall. He told Kareem he wasn't gonna go in the first round. Kareem in the first round. Marlo. So listen, I'm not here to discuss Nick. I'm here to discuss my top 10. So we ran through 9. We ran through 9 of the 10. We went Diggs, Bryant, Arnold, Castile, Towns, Kirkpatrick, Milner, Langham, Humphrey. Number 1, the NFL's Defensive Player of the Year, Patrick Surtain. Number 2. What a problem, man. You talk about lockdown. Dude. Everything that I talked about, every single corner from 10 to 2, they summed it up and just put it into one guy. And he is the perfect combination of cornerback play that you want at that position. Size, tenacity, smarts, can press, can play off, can travel, can play from the left or the right side and get in the slot. Tough enough to get up there and be physical in the press. Tough enough to go up there and tackle when the ball is put in the air, go get it. And when you throw it to him, he put foot in the ground and go vertical. Now, when your daddy was one of the best ones as well, too, some of that trickle on down to you, but he's a better version of Miss Pollard. So that's my list. Yeah. Get at me if you want to. Coach GV Dixon. Follow me on Instagram at Coach Smoke GV Dixon. On X, Coach GV Dixon, and we can get it on, man. But that's my list. Like it or love it. And we got the safeties coming up next week.
Next week, we're going to let Smoke. We're going to let Smoke cook on the safeties. And Smoke, be prepared. I know you're not ready for this, but I was watching. I was trying to get the list up because it's such a damn good list. I wanted it all in its glory because, good gosh, the names on this list are just. It's really a who's who of some of the best to ever even do it, not just at the collegiate level in the NFL. But Smoke, I know you're not ready for this. I think everybody agreed with you, buddy. I mean, everybody was, man, I think everybody was loving your list, man.
Wave the flag, red flag. Everybody's throwing the red flag challenge. Everybody wants a challenge. But listen,
they loved it.
I put some work in this. There's one thing I can do now. I can eyeball talent from a block away. But let's get into those questions.
Let's get those questions. Hit that like and subscribe. Come on over. We appreciate it. We're gonna let Smoke do it again with the defensive back, and we may play some games with these lists all year because I like doing this with Smoke. I like picking his brain on this. I like it's something and I know the fans like it too. And look, good gracious, just going back and I know you say everybody has eyes, but no, you did play it and you played it at this school. So I think fans like to hear, like Daniel Pettey can give a list all day long. Nobody gives a shit, but hearing it from a guy that they loved watching doing it himself, talk about guys he played with or watched play, there's a cooler element of that. So I appreciate you putting so much thought into that, Smoke, and making that such a great segment. We're going to do this again next week, Bama Derry. Come back and we're going to talk some safeties. I think Bama had a few good ones in that position as well.
Oh, maybe man, listen, I played with a few. I've trained with a few, and I might have even mentored one or two, but we'll figure that out all next week.
We figure that out next week. Let's hit us with those questions and answers. Let's Smoke keep on this heater. What if Elway had that team when he was young?
What team? The Philly team?
Phillies?
If Elway had him, listen.
Go back and watch the 84 playoffs when Elway kind of got the Broncos going against the Steelers, and look at the receivers he was throwing to. And I'm just going to give you a spoiler alert. They looked a lot like me. So yeah, if you give Elway AJ Brown and Devonta Smith, it's going to be, he would have.
I don't know. They would have had a good chance of truly competing against San Francisco. In those games.
Instead of getting beat 55-10.
It's hard to play. It's hard to play those what if games, but a truly talented guy like that, he could do wonders. Let's get to the next one.
Go back and watch Elway. Elway was glimpses of what you're seeing. I mean, I think he's the best ever right now in Mahomes, but Elway played a lot of the same game that Patrick Mahomes did, moving around in the pocket and his scrambling ability. He wasn't just a blazer, but he could scramble.
Agreed.
Tough as nails. Did Tom Brady ever have a team like Jalen? Good God, yeah.
No.
Whoa. I said good God, yeah. Smoke just immediately goes with a no. Come on. He walked in that first team when Bledsoe went down, was a freaking juggernaut.
Okay. Listen, I'm going to make this really quick because I don't think that we are truly appreciating what Howie Roseman's done in terms of building this championship juggernaut. Jordan Mailata, like, we're not talking about this young guy, the left tackle, as much as we should. He's one of the best offensive tackles, maybe of all time. And we're just skimming over him. Like, because nothing happens over there. The guy didn't play college football. He just figured out how to do it. Like, you don't see 6'8".
That's insane.
Close to 360 specimen walking around like that. Your right tackle is going to be a Hall of Famer. The guys that you have in the middle, Becton is a first-round, top 5 pick at right guard. Landon Dickerson if they put him at center and find another guy to play guard, they won't be touched. But that offensive line is outstanding. You got a 2,000-yard rusher. It may be a top 2 running back. So you got a top 2 offensive right tackle, a top 5 or top 2 left tackle, a top 2 running back. What are you going to say about AJ? AJ's easily in the top 10. If you talk about number 2 receivers, Smitty's in there. Dallas Goedert is in there as a great tight end. And when you look at their defense, Jalen Carter's going to be one of the better defensive tackles. Nolan Smith, like Josh Sweat. That's a first rounder. Kobe Dean. That secondary that they have back there. Tom Brady never had a team this close in terms of like top end talent like this. This is a monster squad. It's a monster squad. Knock it
team.
We'll get to the next one.
It's a good man that Brady. They had some good defenses over there in his times.
I'm not telling you they didn't have any good defense. I'm just telling you that the team.
He didn't have the offense around him.
Not that.
Okay.
We got next one.
Crimson Dad 813. Keep hearing that Mac will start. Is that true? I don't. I think that's people just trying to create chatter because I mean
Mac who? Mac who?
I think he's talking about Austin Mac. I'm assuming he's talking about Austin Mac at Alabama, the transfer from Washington. I mean, he's got to go through. Ty Simpson's. I think Ty Simpson's gonna have the first shot at it, but you got a kid coming from Duncanville, Texas, that's coming to play.
Austin Mack wasn't the backup last year. He was number 3. And the staff that came over knew more about Mack than anybody.
Yeah.
So let's put that in and figure that out. I evaluated him when he was coming out of high school, solid player. I was at Maryland at that time. Time will tell, but
I can get a shot.
I want to hear what you're hearing because my ears ain't that good. Let's get to the
I
next.
haven't heard that yet. So I think we'll have to get to spring before we have any kind of inclination, and even then, he's not going to let it be known.
No.
Tough as nails. Was Randy Moss the best receiver ever? Smoke told me we had this conversation 2 days ago, and Smoke actually he says that's the debate. Randy Moss is the debate, but he's not the number one. There's someone that is in the debate. He's in the debate with. Who is that, Smoke?
It's a tough debate. You know what? I already gave one away. So now we're gonna hold on to 4. At least tough as nails. How about this? How about you come back next week? Same time, same place, same channel. Bring your peoples with you so you can join over on the YouTube channel. Maybe bring 5, 10, 15, 20 of them. And then we go down with this discussion. Or you know what we might do, Justin? Petty, let's make a short video for our exclusive.
Let's do a short video. Smoke Mount Rushmore receivers. We'll do that this week. Okay. Next couple of days.
I'll get that chopped up this week and we'll get it out to you, Tough and Nails. I appreciate you.
That's right. We'll let you know. Was Randy Moss the best receiver ever, according to one Smoke Dixon? I don't want to give any hints away because it may give
you already gave most of it away, but I'll just finish it out.
It's y'all will be pleasantly surprised. We'll say that. All right, next question.
Just don't
Tough
think
as nails. Trent Dilfer. Okay, question. Trent Dilfer, the worst QB to win the Super Bowl. Was Ravens defense better than the Eagles defense? Yes.
Ravens defense better. Trent, again, it's hard to say worse, because he's the Super Bowl winner.
Didn't Brad Johnson win one too?
Yeah, but again, what he was asked to do, he did a hell of a job at doing it. Stay out of the way, hand the ball off, don't turn it over. So he was the best version of himself. Now, if you're ranking quarterbacks in terms of talent, ability to lead a team, yeah, that's another conversation. But tough as nails, again, that's a damn good question. But no, the Ravens is better. And Trent Dilfer, I don't believe was the worst, but he was one of the best that did his job for what he was asked to do.
Well, and I'll take it a step further. I think that Ravens defense was probably the best defense to ever step on a football field in the NFL.
Pepper Johnson at 19.
You gonna go with the Giants? And
I want to say, is it the 90s Giants defense at 86 Giants? Pep,
I got to talk about with LT and Pepper Johnson.
Yeah, that statistically, if Justin can do some quick research, I want to say statistically that 1986 defense, it was 86 or 90s defense, was better than the Ravens.
Okay. I'll say this: Ravens facing better offenses.
Again,
Tough as nails saying it was 86. But I know your demand. 86. Hey, look, I think that's a great debate, Smoke. Man, we could have these debates because LT literally changed the game of football. LT is the reason blindside tackles are the second highest paid people in all of football.
So everybody wants to say LT wasn't the only player on the.
He wasn't only, but breaking Joe Theismann's leg got the attention that we got to protect these guys, and it was the final straw. Someone said the '85 Bears. It was good.
Like that's all great competition. How about this? We can make another short video on that.
We make another short on best defenses of all time.
I got to run in a few. So
right,
let's get to the last ones.
Knock these out. No. Yeah. These are great questions, Stan. Love them, man. Was Marvin the toughest guy on the team, Smoke? Love this question.
Marvin's one of the toughest people I've ever been around. From what Mook's been through, from the injuries and just playing, like it's hard for me to say he ain't that guy. He's a problem. He's a beast. So no, yeah.
And Smoke, take that. Tell the fans what you told me this week. And I don't know if people will remember this about Marvin because his career.
Marvin, as a redshirt freshman, was on the same path as the great LeVar Arrington in terms of linebacker play. If he does not get hurt in that LSU game, which I beat myself up all the time, that I dropped the interception that would have closed the game out. And really, I didn't drop it. Daggone Jason Jones, the safety coach at Alabama. Shout out to you, Jay. But I went up in the air on the post against Jarrell Myers. Jay Love and I still good friends. Q-Dog. Went up on the post from Booty, I think, threw the ball. And I went up, into my hands. I'm coming down, and I'm talking about Jay Jones laid me out. Wow! Ball might have hit the ground. The referee said it was incomplete. All I knew, I looked up, Jay Jones looking at me. My bad, cuz. I said, this mother. Then we proceeded to lose Kenny Smith, Canary Knight, and Marvin Constant on the last sack. And if everybody remember, if you want to see toughness, he laid it out on the line because his knee was going in the wrong direction and still made that hit. Him and Reggie Miles.
He did. The goal line.
For them not in the goal line stance for not to get in. So
goal line stand.
If I don't give Marvin the tough guy award, he should beat me up for that. So Mook, on this day on Monday, you got it, my man.
Love it. You heard it. Marvin was the toughest dude on that team. You heard it from Smoke.
No, for today. I ain't gonna let him win on it. And it's a lot of it because I feel emotionally attached to it too.
We can only give Marvin so much props. That head is a little bit bigger than the muscles. All right, who was the
Mac 10, pound for pound? Yeah, Mac 10 was the toughest dude on there. When we used to do Mac drills, he was not allowed to do Mac drills. Kenise Griffin was on that team too. Tough guy. Big Sam was on that team. Tough SOB.
Love it. Gary, that's a great one. The toughest dudes.
That team was that Marvin Brown, tough SOB. Marvin Brown took the ball away from, I forget who was the punt returner in that Florida game. Took it from him. He didn't fumble it. Boogie went in there. He bobbled it. Snatched it up. Give me that. That's mine. And took it away from him. That's how we got the ball back against the Florida Gators. So, yeah, we had just a bunch of tough guys, but that's what it is.
Bunch of tough ones. Well, Knappy wants to know who was the funniest on that team.
Funniest. Sean Draper and Will Cuthbert were some funny tail dudes, bro. Them dudes was hilarious, man.
Okay.
Sean Draper and Will Cuthbert. They stayed daggone last and getting everybody in trouble. Kev Bailey was also a funny dude, too.
Kev was funny?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Nasty it's at Central. It's at T-Town.
Lil Nasty was a funny guy, too. What else we got?
Mike Coleman, Smoke, what was the best hit you delivered, and also what was the best hit you took? Oh, that's a great question.
Best hit that I delivered. Ooh, that's a good one. Because I don't count little people. Count little people. There's a running back for Arkansas, big guy that I dropped. And the biggest collision that I remember having an opponent, and probably the only one I would walk away and got the best of me, Justin Griffin, goal line. But he still ain't get in, but that was a good one.
From Mississippi State.
Yeah.
Yeah, big running back. That dude was a bowling ball, man. Okay. Yeah. But you stopped his ass. Good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Would help.
Next, is that it? Are we?
Last one, I gotta run.
All right, good. Smoke's got to run. Hey, but he's running. Don't, like he told you tomorrow, we got the pancake posse from Ellington to the man Samuel and everywhere in between. And, of course, Smoke and the toughest guy for tonight, Marvin Constant and Justin Riley, keeping all these lunatics in check. I don't know how he's going to do it tomorrow night. Peace be with him. Godspeed. Check me out after that on the final whistle, 8 Central. Then going hard in the paint on Thursdays at 7:30 Central. That's where you can find me, man. And again, check out Smoke. He'll be back with us tomorrow. And look for a short this week. I think me and Smoke will get together. Smoke has an interesting take. Like I said, I think y'all will actually be pleasantly surprised with Smoke's Mount Rushmore of NFL receivers. With that said, thank you always for your time and joining us tonight. It's been a great show. I hope you enjoyed Smoke's list. We're going to do that a lot in the off season. I think they're fun. I think I think the crowd enjoys it. Like I said, come over if you're on Twitter X, hit that like and subscribe. We've got a week full of fantastic shows. It may be the off season, but we do not stop here at the Bama Standard. Hit that like and subscribe. Follow us. As always, love you guys. Hotty toddy, roll tide, all the stuff in between. I know y'all going to shoot me for that one. But, hey, man. No, one more. Hey, Jalen Hurts. Congrats to that kid. Super Bowl tide. And if you want to claim him, whoever, but we claim him at Alabama because he still claims us. We loved him. Boy, got that MVP in that ring last night. So I know that and Devonta Smith getting that touchdown. So it was a good night for Alabama in the Super Bowl. So we'll sign off with that roll tide, and we will see you tomorrow night. Appreciate you guys.